This is day 17, and we're going to talk about exceptions one more time. The objective here is to create a custom exception. In the previous video, we had to write a try-catch block, but in this video, we're going to go a step further. So here we need to write a calculator class, and it's going to have a method. That method is supposed to take in two integers, n and p, and return n to the power of p. So if either n or p is a negative value, then we need to throw an exception with a custom message, and we should say n and p should be non-negative. If you look at the code given for this challenge, they have the headers here, including the exception header, and then inside of the main function, they are using the calculator class, which we need to define, and this here is an object. They're then getting the number of test cases to run, and then here they're using a while loop to go through all the test cases, and at every iteration, they're checking if they're able to get the two values needed for n and p, then they're going to try and call the power methods on our calculator object, pass it n and p as arguments, and then print the answer. If the method fails to complete because either n or p was a negative number, then we're going to skip to the catch block, capture the exception by reference, and then call the what method on our exception to print the message n and p should be non-negative. I've just pasted my solution, and you can see here I'm creating my own custom exception. So this is a struct, which is very similar to a class, and I'm using a struct because here they say we shouldn't use any access modifier. So with struct, you know that by default, everything is public. So here I'm inheriting directly from the C++ exception base class. Then here I'm creating a message string as a const char. And then this here is my constructor. I'm getting a message that I'm going to use to initialize the value of this member variable. Then here I'm having the what methods, which is a standard for every exception, and it's going to return this const char message. So it doesn't change anything inside of this class. So we have this const qualifier here, but I also have this exception specification. So you can read more about that on this Microsoft page. If you scroll down here, they have a section where they explain what this does. And basically it means the function does not throw an exception. So then I return the message and we're done for the custom exception. Now for the calculator class, I'm also using a struct because I don't want to use any access modifier. And here my constructor is empty because we don't need to initialize any member variable. Here I'm having my power methods, which is what we're going to call inside of the main function here. It's supposed to return a const integer, which is the result of n to the power of p. So this power method takes in two arguments as constant integers, and it's by reference. So here I'm verifying if either n or p is a negative value, meaning they're less than 0, then I'm going to throw a custom exception. But that custom exception is the class that I've defined right here. So I pass this message, n and p should be non-negative, to my custom exception, which will be received by the constructor right here, and then passed to my message member variable. Otherwise, if there was no error, then I'm going to return n to the power of p. And I can call this power function because if you scroll up here, they have the CMath header. And this here is the destructor. So that's it for the code for this challenge. When we run it, we see that we're able to pass the test case. So let's submit it. We have only 2 test cases, and we've passed both of them. So that's it for day 17 in the 30 days of code HackerRank challenge. It was called More Exceptions. If you like my solution, please subscribe to my channel, get this code on my GitHub, and I'll catch you next time.